Hi and welcome back to the Studio Katia YouTube channel. The reason I was not up earlier in the week on my usual Tuesday is this little cutie pie. Yeah, this is Maya, our new little family member, the newest addition to the Cheeky Chicas. So today's card is all about her and the other two Cheeky Chicas. So let's get to it. But isn't she sweet? Oh, we adopted her only 2 weeks ago, and oh my goodness, we are so in love with her. Look at that little face. Oh, you are gonna live your best life with us forever and ever and ever. Yes, but now let's get to some card making.
So with the Furry Dreams stamps, I have stamped up the cute pie little doggy. Look at him. I stamped them up 4 times. Actually, I'm going to start calling it a she because I have girl dogs. So I stamped it up 4 times just in case I mess up on one of the colorings and I have a spare. So the colors I picked out for my little Maya is an E37, E35 for a little bit of contrast, and an E34 to kind of bridge the gap to the orangey color of them. So I'm using YR15 and YR14. For my older chicas, I'm going to be using E49, E44, E39, E25, and then E53 and E51 to kind of blend out those white bits and to give a little bit of contrast and life. Now, I will be doing the 2 older chicas in one way, and as you can see on the card, and Maya's is going to be slightly different as well. So I'm going to film this in a time lapse so that you're not here all day again. But I thought I'd just start with one doggy and I'll show you how to do her, and then we will hop into a time lapse for the rest. So we are nice and zoomed in, and I've also trimmed this down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this runner tape and I'm going to just put down a couple of little bits like that, and then we're going to pop the image on top so that it doesn't move around while I'm coloring. So the way I do this type of coloring is I start with my darkest color, and we're going to go in where you would normally add your sort of darker colors anyway, or where you want some texture, extra texture and depth. So I'm going to go in along the sort of the top here, because my chicas are much darker on top, and then it kind of fades out towards their tummies. So we're gonna just dot. This is a super quick way of coloring as well, so if you're in a hurry, this is kind of a fun way of making it look like it's taken a long time, but it doesn't really. So dot, and then down onto the leg a little bit, just to have that kind of contrast, and a little bit on the top of the ears, that too. So you don't ever kind of draw any lines with this. You literally just dot, even if you are going to go along the full kind of shape like that. Just dot, because it just helps add texture, I feel, anyway. So we're actually going to go down all this way like that. And then we're going to move on to our next color. So this is E44. And we are going to go over almost all of this, plus a little bit more, like that. So down. And the reason we're going over the darker dots already as well is because when you mix alcohol ink on top of each other, they react with each other, and they give this really cool texture look, actually. So that's why we're doing that. And I think this is a really fun way of adding texture to, especially things like fur and animals, you know, where you want that sort of, you know, you want it to look alive, but not, you know, you don't have time to sort of sit here and color all day, which unfortunately, you know, is the case most times. You know, it's nice when we have time to just sit and color all day, but it doesn't happen that often. So moving on to the next color. And I do feel like one of the key points here as well with this kind of coloring is that you need to have quite, I like having a minimum of 4 colors. So here I actually have 6, but that is, it just, again, it helps bring in, you know, like the life and texture of fur, and it just, yeah, I can't really explain it in words very well. But this is just something that I I have found through my years of coloring that the more colors you have, and also the more contrast between the colors that you're using, the more life you bring to your image. And then we're going to go, so this color is actually quite reddish, and that is to kind of bring in that color from my my little girly gals. So they have this amazing sort of multicolored coat. It's really difficult to kind of say they're this color or that color, because they really are just so many different colors. So this is again just a different way to kind of bring in that texture and realness of fur. And you can kind of see how it's kind of coming together and the colors are working with each other, and it's just a really fun way of coloring actually. And the other upside with this as well is that it doesn't have to be perfect. If anything, I feel like if it's less perfect, it looks more real. So the lighter colors you don't have to do anything. This is again something that kind of comes with practice and seeing what you like and what kind of results you like as well. So I find for myself, if I go over with this is one of the lightest colors I'm going to use. This is the second lightest color. If I go over the darker color with that, it reacts beautifully and just kind of, again, bring in that sort of life to the colors. So yeah, again, this is something that it will come with practice, and you kind of look at this now and you think, okay, but it really does help, I find, with textures and look and things like that. But again, coloring is a very different journey for everyone. So I do feel like just do whatever you feel like works for you. If something you're doing doesn't work for you, then look for something else. But if you already found something that you're happy with and that you're comfortable with, and you're not really looking to kind of push outside the box, just keep on doing that. Because for me, coloring and crafting is, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And I don't really necessarily want to make it stressful at times. So yeah, there are times when I feel like pushing my own coloring boundaries and trying new things. But when I just want to relax, I want to kind of know that it's going to work. That's just how I work. I guess that's kind of part of my anxieties as well when they come in. I'm like, do I really want to try something new today? No. And then I don't. And that's okay. So there we are, we're nearly finished. So I've gone in with one of the darker colors again, just to kind of sort of bring a little bit of life. And then what we're going to do is, I did forget to bring in a color for the nose. Now my girly girls have got quite dark noses, so we might actually use we're going to use the two darkest colors. So we're going to start with E44, and we're just going to go over the whole thing like this. And then we're going to go in with the darkest E49. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to just touch the tip very, very, very lightly like this to get that sort of really dotted look like you get on a little doggy nose. Yeah. And then I'm wondering, we're going to add just a few more little dots here to kind of bring in, highlight the contrast again. Or is it low light the contrast? I don't really know. But this is just to kind of, again, help bring in some of that texture again. And it might seem a bit crazy to go over this again when I've just kind of not blended, but added all of these and then gone over with the lighter colors to kind of make them blend out. But it's just, I hardly ever just use one color once, except for when I'm doing like the flicking technique. Then yes, definitely then, but not usually. So this is our finished little doggy, and then I'm going to do the second and little Maya as well, and then we're going to put these together. So this is going to go super fast, but it really is just to give you an idea of how I color them. And if you want more in-depth tutorials, let me know. Oops, I did forget to do the nose on the second chica, so we gotta go back in and do that. So that is all 3 done. And as you can see, I have made them quite sort of different to make sure that they each have like their own little personality like they normally do. And here are the cutie pies all cut out with the coordinating die cut, and oh, so cute. So now we're going to work on our background, and of course it only makes sense to use the furry paws as stencils. So we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. On the back of my stencil, I have secured my cardstock with these pieces of purple tape. Now, I reuse these until there is no more sticky on them because I really don't like crafty waste, so I try to keep that to a minimum. So that's a little bit of a top tip to hang on to. So I think I am going to use some, I say, you know, some distress oxides for sure, but I'm thinking a little bit of squeezed lemonade and picked raspberry is going to be just the thing. I'm going to blend these, and then we are going to probably trim this down and add a little bit of detail with this fun dye here, because I do like that when you have a little bit of texture like around the frame. It just adds a little something, doesn't it? With the ink blending done, we're going to do the best part, which is the reveal. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is fun, fun, fun. So we have our background. We have our little bed that I cut out using this part of the, I want to say, Darling Dotted frames set. I will for sure make sure I show the right name and the link to that product. And then my little doggies. So we're gonna put one in the middle and one squeezing in that way, and little Maya squeezing in the back there like that. Actually, this one will be in the front. And then I have stamped up a couple of sentiments from the Furry Dreams stamp set. So, hey party animal, it's your birthday. So I thought we'd just sort of tuck these in kind of like this, and then maybe put like an enamel dot or something on top. Yeah, that would probably be it. But I'm gonna glue this down onto a card base, and then we will see what we finish this off, because there's probably gonna be a little bit of bling on this. A little bit. Kind of have to. Yeah. So after folding and scoring the card base, we're adding some tape runner, and then we're gonna glue our little bits and pieces down. And I'm using the liquid glue for the pieces and also for the bling. And I did go a little bit overboard, but okay, I did add a few more, but I'm not gonna be sorry for it. No. So here is the finished card, and I might even add a little bit of glossy accents to the noses just to kind of make them pop. Or maybe not. No, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to leave it as it is. And with that, I'm all done for today, but I really hope you have enjoyed this video and this card. And if you are a crazy dog lady like myself, or a crazy cat lady, because there is a cat in it as well, obviously. So yes, this set is for you. And yeah, with that, I'm, as I said, all done for today. But because my video this week was delayed, I will see you again on Tuesday. So just in a few days. But until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon again. Bye! With one last close-up of the card, I also want to mention that please subscribe to the Studio Katia YouTube channel and hit that thumbs up button.